Walk into any supplement store or scroll through an online retailer, and you are immediately confronted with a wall of endless options. Eventually, you have to pick one. And when that heavy scoop finally hits the water, you expect it to do exactly what the label promised. The fitness industry thrives on a strict marketing binary. Whey protein is positioned as the heavy-duty, fast-acting muscle builder, while plant-based protein is frequently categorized as an inferior alternative or something built strictly for vegans. This framing creates direct consumer anxiety. Pick the wrong tub and you risk sabotaging your post-workout recovery while simultaneously wasting $50. This Venn diagram maps out the core conflict. On one side, we have maximum muscle synthesis. On the other, gut-friendly digestion and environmental sustainability. The overlap in the middle is where the consumer gets stuck, trying to balance competing priorities. The decision between whey and plant protein is not the battle of absolute biological efficacy. It is a strategic trade-off based on your specific physical constraints and your lifestyle. This graphic shows the biological baseline required for muscle maintenance and growth. Active individuals need between 1.4 and 2.0 grams of protein multiplied by their total body weight in kilograms every single day. Protein powders are strictly dietary supplements. They exist simply to bridge the gap between the whole foods you eat and that total daily target. To build muscle, your body relies on 9 essential amino acids. These are structural building blocks that your body cannot produce on its own, meaning you must ingest them through your diet. Among those 9 is leucine. Leucine is a specific essential amino acid that acts as a biological trigger, directly activating the process of muscle protein synthesis. Reaching a specific threshold of leucine intake after a workout is a non-negotiable requirement for your muscles to begin repairing and growing. As long as your total daily protein numbers are met and that leucine threshold is crossed, the biological origin of the powder itself does not dictate your physical results. Whey protein is a byproduct of commercial cheese manufacturing. When raw cow's milk is processed, it separates into dense curds and a translucent liquid runoff. That liquid is whey, which is filtered and dried into powder. It holds the reputation as the gold standard for biochemical efficiency because it naturally contains a highly concentrated density of leucine. Whey also features an incredibly rapid absorption rate, breaking down and delivering those amino acids to your muscles within 1 to 2 hours of consumption. The most affordable and widely available option is whey concentrate. Because it undergoes less filtration, it retains slightly higher amounts of natural fats and carbohydrates. That minimal filtration creates a digestive trade-off. Whey concentrate holds on to more lactose, which regularly causes bloating and discomfort for users with dairy sensitivities. To solve this, manufacturers process the liquid further to create whey isolate. This strips away almost all the remaining lactose, resulting in a cleaner powder that is significantly easier to digest. That extra level of purification carries a direct cost penalty, keeping whey isolate at a consistently higher price point. Relying on a dairy byproduct also ties your supplementation to animal agriculture, an industry with massive macro-environmental impacts regarding heavy land use and intense water consumption. Whey delivers peak biochemical efficiency and cost-effectiveness, but it demands a digestive system capable of handling lactose and carries a heavy environmental footprint. Plant-based protein powders extract their nutrients directly from agricultural sources like peas, brown rice, hemp, and seeds. Their primary biological limitation is that a single plant source usually lacks adequate amounts of one or more of those 9 essential amino acids. Modern supplement manufacturers engineer their way around this by blending different sources. By combining pea and brown rice, for example, they can successfully construct a complete amino acid profile. Soy protein is the biological exception here. It is naturally complete right out of the ground, requiring no blending to provide all essential amino acids. This chart compares leucine density. A standard 30-gram serving of whey isolate yields a much higher concentration of leucine than the same volume of pea protein. Hitting the biological trigger with plants simply requires a trade-off, consuming a slightly larger scoop to match whey's dosage. In exchange for that larger scoop, plant proteins offer total freedom from lactose, alongside natural plant compounds and dietary fiber that support long-term gut health. There is a temporary adaptation phase. If your daily diet is relatively low in fiber, introducing a plant protein, particularly a pea-based blend, may cause mild initial bloating as your gut adjusts. High-quality plant blends perfectly replicate the exact muscle-building mechanics of whey, while offering massive digestive and environmental benefits, provided you are willing to measure a slightly larger serving. We can eliminate choice paralysis entirely by running these biological and ethical constraints through a rigid decision framework. This decision tree starts with the first mandatory biological filter. Does your gastrointestinal system tolerate dairy well? If you tolerate dairy, your next filter is budget versus purity. Choose whey concentrate if cost is the priority. If you have mild sensitivities or want fewer carbohydrates, step up to whey isolate. If you follow the NO path due to lactose intolerance, a strict vegan diet, or an absolute priority on sustainability, your decision definitively stops at a modern plant-based blend. This matrix strips away the marketing. There is no universally good or bad powder, only the specific utility each one provides. Your ultimate purchasing decision is dictated entirely by matching the specific biochemical trade-offs of the powder to the reality of your digestive tract and your wallet. When total daily protein targets are hit and leucine density is equated, human muscle tissue grows at the exact same rate regardless of whether the amino acids originated from a cow or a field of peas. Understanding this removes the anxiety of choice. You cannot accidentally ruin your fitness progress by selecting the wrong powder from the shelf. Your long-term physical results will always be governed by the totality of your daily dietary routine and your consistent training, not the micro-optimization of a single post-workout shake. The variables that actually dictate your consistency are much simpler: how the powder tastes, how smoothly it mixes, and your stomach's comfort. Because consistency always beats perfection, the absolute best protein powder is simply the one you can digest comfortably and commit to drinking every single day.